Hear that? That's the sound of my heat. You look up the weather in Houston. I do not want to hear one word from you. I am well aware that it is 65 degrees outside, but I am cold. I thought we'd do a look with this palette today. I did do a comparison to the Mercury retrograde, and they are similar, but you know, it's still a beautiful, stunning, gorgeous palette. And let's just see how it turns out when we do a look. So we're going to start with some clean canvas here, and we're just going to press this in. Okay, so I have an idea. Let's see if it works out. I'm going to grab this shade from the palette. It's called Gratitude, and I'm grabbing that just here on not quite the whole side of the brush, just the tip of the brush. You'll see. So I'm picking it up there, and then you can see the product. So I didn't take it all the way up here, just right through there. So we're going to take that side where the eyeshadow is, and I'm going to start by shading in here. So normally I keep this area pretty clean, but I feel the trend right now is to kind of push eyeshadow into your eyebrow. So that's what we're going to do. I want you to see how I'm holding the brush. See how far back I'm holding it? And I'm kind of just pulling and pressing up towards the brow, not dragging that brush, because if I'm dragging, I can overblend and I can lose control. So by tapping and pressing, I'm going to have more control and I'm not going to overblend. With whatever's left on our brush here, I'm going to take this, and we want it to be darker through here, but I'm going to take it and start to fade it out this way. It's going very high on the brow bone, but just kind of keep taking that, tapping back and forth, and we're setting that eyeshadow base as we go. So I switched to an E27 because I wanted it to be just a little bit more defined, just on the bottom part. We don't need any more definition towards the brow, just through here. Grab the C31 again and just kind of define this. Remember, none of this is set, so we can really drag this brush and just kind of clean this up. And I'm just using whatever base is on my eye and whatever's left in this brush. Now I'm going to grab the brush one more time, just kind of make sure all of that eyeshadow base is pressed in. Remember, that eyeshadow base is going to crease until you set it. But now we're going to set it. And I'm taking this pink here. Now we are going to use some of the shimmers, but we're going to use them a little bit different. So let's go ahead and grab that, and we'll start to pack this on our lid. Just kind of keep pressing back and forth. This is the same brush. I just wiped it off on Sheila. And if you're new, Sheila is not my cat or my dog. It's this rag, this little makeup towel here. She has a name. And I'm just going to keep pressing and really building that. That's really pretty. What we're going to do is kind of what we did yesterday. We're going to map out a wing, but it's going to be very smoky, and this does not have to be perfect. I live on a daggum racetrack, and all I'm doing is just kind of tapping this to about right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going to bring it all the way over, just to about right there. Kind of fill in the gaps. This doesn't even have to resemble a wing. Before I add any shadow on here, we do want to kind of take our time and just make sure it's even. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, it's not a perfect wing. It looks a little bizarre, honestly, but that doesn't matter because I'm here to show you. All I'm doing is just making sure that that base is even. Switch back to an E27. We're going to grab this dark shade right here, and we're going to press that really close. Ooh, that's nice, to the lash line, because we are going to use another color on top, so it kind of ombres really nicely. So just kind of keep pressing that back and forth. Don't worry about underneath here. We're going to clean that with micellar water. Now we're going to grab this shade called Aura. Whoopsie, grabbing it on the side of the brush, and we'll tap that right above, just to kind of ombre it a little bit. Picking up a little bit more, just kind of keep tapping and transitioning. Snickering because I actually live one house inside the city limits, right? So it's basically a country road that I live on, and our speed limit is 35, and people go 90. Let's grab a C30 here and a little bit of micellar water. And now we're really gonna start to shape this and lift this. So I'm kind of starting from where my eye separates, and then I'll just clean that up. Hooded eyes, friends, listen. Listen up closely. So I've got my E27 here, and I'm grabbing the same shade Aura, but I want to add a little bit more lift. See how that's kind of dragging my eye down? What I'm going to do is with my eye open, I'm just going to take that and fill in that gap. See that? Just instantly adds lift. And a lot of times while we're doing our makeup, we're thinking this should already look a certain way. But you have to get everything on and kind of step back and look. See, this one needs it too. I'm not gonna lie though, this brush is pretty much designed for this. So I picked up the same shade and just fill in the gap. Notice I'm pressing as well. We're gonna grab this one with our finger. So I always like to use my finger first because it just kind of, you press and you pull and then it's there. But I can't do my detail work without my E27. So pick up more of this shade and just kind of press it on. And what I'm doing is just kind of softening the edges. Bring it up this way. I actually wanted that lid to be a little sparklier. I mean, it's really pretty, but I had a vision and that did not complete my shade. So I grabbed Carla Cosmetics pigment in the shade Romance. Yeah, that's what I'm after. I want to blink and you'd be like, was that a disco ball? No, that was just Rose's eyelid. All right, we're gonna do kind of skin prep / primer. So I've been using this as my, I guess my primer. I'm obsessed. This is from Fresh Beauty. The full name is the Rose Deep Hydration Oil Infused Serum. A little bit on the brush, a lot of it. So I like to apply this on the outer perimeter, a little bit underneath my eye. The only place I don't put it is the center of my face, but it is very light. I know oil is in the name. Don't be afraid of that. Don't. Once it dries down, it really just feels like a serum. And honestly, makeup just kind of clings to it because once it dries down, it feels kind of like the Milk Hydro Grip, but not as tacky. I don't care for that primer as much, but this to me, it's been really magical and my makeup has just been fantastic. And if I'm ever applying primer or skincare, you best believe I'm using an Anissa Beauty All Over Care, Angle Care, or Eye Treatment brush. My lashes are done drying. I usually let my lash glue, and I use Duo Dark Tone, I usually let it dry for about 5 minutes. And I know that seems like a long time, but if you'll ever notice the way I put on my lashes, they don't slide. Notice how they're not sliding around. It's already kind of just grabbing. So I use Duo Dark Tone and I let it dry for about 5 to sometimes 7 minutes. Oh, and this is a really good tip. So when I started wearing falsies, I would always put mascara on after I applied the lash because I always saw pro makeup artists do that. Well, think about it. If a pro makeup artist puts a lash on someone, that person is not going to wear that lash again. You're actually not going to get the same amount of uses out of it. So for personal use lashes, like I do every single day, I put mascara on first. And if I want to blend them, I'll just pinch them in. Or if you don't have these big old pinchers that I do, just grab the back of your tweezers. Lord have mercy, use the back and just kind of push them this way and push it down this way. And you're kind of pushing your natural lash into it. That was always major for me. But once I put mascara on them, they don't look the same and then I can't wear them again. Well, I found out why. I feel that if this area isn't filled in with just the tiniest amount of eyeshadow, it looks like your lash is lifting. And if I just I'm taking a little bit of this shade on the E26, just a little bit of that dark shade we used, and we're gonna take it and just kind of press it here. Just that little bit of shadow kind of completes that lash band. People are DMing me about the E26 and you had no idea that an angled liner brush could have so many uses. Well, the difference is that these brushes, they come with instructions. I'm the instructions. I'm doing what I always wanted to do. I wanted someone to be like, okay, here's a brush, just like Mac. I remember back in the day, Mac, they would be like, okay, here's a brush. And I'd be like, great, how do I use it? And they're like, well, you use it only one way. Bye. Yeah, I'm changing that. Oma Beauty foundation today. I love this one. I did a wear test a couple posts back. Gosh, it's so pretty. It's just so stinking pretty, and the color match is just so good. Of course, I'm working this in with my Anissa Beauty Pinnacle foundation brush. I'm gonna grab a little bit of It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. And when I say a little bit, that's all I'm gonna use for my entire face. I'm gonna grab my C30 and I'm picking up a little bit of this and I'm gonna start placing it. I'm still gonna use my other brush to work it in, but I'm kind of gonna place it where I want it first. There's still quite a bit left here. I'm telling y'all, this is a very aggressive but fantastic concealer. And I feel that my DMs are full of everyone going, look, it creases so bad on me. And then they realize how little I'm using and they go, oh, So even I am used to using a concealer that is way more, I guess, less pigment. But this one's not it, and that's all we need. Sorry, I disappeared and I blended. Benny called me on his way home from work. We were just chatting. I like talking to him on the phone. I really just like him. In honor of the Sephora sale, I'm gonna grab my Givenchy powder. Grab it on my puff, even that out on the back of my hand. A lot of you ask if that waste product, and the answer is absolutely not, because it's going into the puff. And then you just start to press it in. Ooh, that's smooth. And then from there you have powder in here and you can just start setting your face. So I understand that we don't want to waste product, but I had a lot of comments one day on one of my posts about that. And I didn't understand, because I was like, it's going into the puff. But I guess that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I'm gonna grab my E29 in the same powder, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start to set through here. And then what I like to do recently is I'll take my brush and just kind of tap that powder across here as well. I just feel like it smooths any crepiness that I might have on my eye. I don't want to talk about it, but it's there. So now that I have everything set, especially through the center, I'm going to grab the E29, and I kind of call this my fluffing finishing brush. So we're going to grab that same eyeshadow that we started with, and since everything is set now, I can kind of just buff and pull things where I want it and shade it. I'm getting a little spicy, okay? This is not my normal eye look, but I'm just kind of playing around, having fun with makeup. And again, you normally don't see me pull shadow brushes, but this one I designed for that. But everything has to be set first. Brag or anything, but these are also some of the softest brushes that will ever touch your face. So when you do drag them, they're not really going to disturb your makeup. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and bronze, but I want you to notice that I haven't set over this way, and the reason why is I'm gonna film a video after this, and I'm gonna set that, and I'm gonna show you how to apply blush oil or cream blush on top of powder and how not to disturb it, but I'm not there yet. So we're gonna grab our C40 here, the Gucci bronzer, check my last post, and we're just gonna go ahead and press this through here. This isn't set, but the way this brush is designed, how soft it is, and my pressing motions are going to make it to where our foundation's not going to lift. So I'm going to grab this Moira Cosmetics. This is their lip liner in the shade Honey Rose. I tried a different lip liner and I didn't care for it as much, so I'm just going over it with this one. I wanted something a little bit more pink. Now we're going to grab this gloss here from Youthforia. If y'all don't have these glosses and the blush, which I'm about to film, if y'all don't have these, and these little magnets, what's even happening? What is even happening if you don't have these? Honestly, these glosses are so gorgeous. I love them. I love them so much. So they're attacking me now, but I still love them. So we're going to apply this right on top of this lip liner, and it's kind of going to bring it back to a little bit more of a cool tone. Ooh. I don't know, I just love the way they make the lips look as well. I just feel like they're so juicy. Not ever feeling sticky. I mean, y'all have seen me use these quite a bit. That's spicy. Last but not least, I'm going to grab this Moira Cosmetics. This is one of their Lucent Cream Shadows. This is the shade Starlight, or Starlit. Yeah, no, Starlight. And I'm going to kind of pop this on. Y'all see how that brush fits perfectly on the inner? It is... It's like somebody put some thought into it. Okay, but hang on. Did we just find our new inner corner highlight? If you are an OG supporter, you know about ColourPop Tassel and how it's basically all I wore. But did we just find something better? All right, we are all done. I'm gonna go film this. It's actually been a big question lately, how I apply cream or oil blush on top without separating. I'm gonna show you. So let me go film that and I'll see you in tonight's comments. Yes, this blush, it's an oil, but you can still apply it on top of powder. Let me show you. So let's go ahead and powder this area where we're gonna apply the blush. Then we need to grab a very soft synthetic brush. This one right here is pretty spicy. It's the Rose Quartz C41. Now I will say a little bit of this blush goes a very long way. I know you're holding your breath. So we're gonna start to tap this in. Notice how it's giving our skin a really nice glow, but it's not separating our makeup. And I'm gonna show you on this side as well. Start to work that in. I feel like the Youthforia blush oil, it just adds that extra glow to the skin. Just want to give you a close-up so you can see that it is not separated. Now remember, don't be afraid of oil and cream blushes. They're actually gonna go on top of powder okay, as long as you're using a very soft synthetic brush.